Hello there, my name is Grace. I'm a native English speaker from the UK. I'm 43 years old. I live in New Zealand where I have resided for the past 14 years. I am now currently based in Costa Rica in Puerto Viejo on the Caribbean coast. I am wearing pink today for my video, which is my favorite color. It's very bright, bold and fun, very much like my personality. So I will go through the questions that I've advised on the application form so you get a little taste of my little personality. So my favorite thing about being a teacher is seeing my students grow in confidence, putting together those new sentence structures, those new vocabulary words that they have learnt, and that confidence that you see to help them in whether they have chosen to learn English for their business, for their schooling, education, or just general life. So it's really great as a teacher to see your students develop in confidence and grow and be able to implement that in their day-to-day life. One of the main challenges I find about being a teacher is just having such a wide range of students' abilities and levels and stages in their language journey, and also different cultures coming together in one class. Even though it is a challenge, as a teacher, I think it's great to be able to have that flexibility and creativity to plan and implement creative lessons to engage all of your students from such a wide and diverse background. I think one of the main challenges about learning a new language, having learning Spanish as a new language myself, one of the main challenges that I find that I can empathize with students learning English is mainly having the confidence to speak it and having the embarrassment or being embarrassed and making those mistakes along the way, especially when you are conversing, having conversation lessons, or just conversing with people in another language. So I think that's the biggest challenge of learning a second language. Having made a mistake with a student, absolutely. With my experience of working especially in the workplace and mentoring young people, I do like to make a comfortable environment to ensure students that it is okay to make mistakes, correcting students with those mistakes, which happens in life, is to make them feel comfortable. I myself have made mistakes whilst teaching students. I made a mistake early on in my teaching, just giving the wrong information to students. However, once I was aware that the information was incorrect, I quickly corrected the mistake that I had made and spoke it through with my students as well to correct the mistake. So I believe it is an important, I think it's an important environment to encourage your students that it is okay to make mistakes, and then we do learn from those mistakes. So it's all about, putting it into the right context and encouragement instead of making people feel a little bit silly. My perspective of error correction in the classroom, I do believe if you are going to correct a student in the classroom, it's always got to be done in a kind manner, and creating that safe space so as not to make that student feel a little bit silly, and so it's not to minimize their confidence, so it does not affect their learning process within the classroom. So correction along the way, either correct it in a nice manner, or if it's the right time, make notes throughout your class, and then we can correct it at the end. Make notes and we can have a corrective exercise at the end of the lesson, if it's obviously the right time. If I had a student that was a bit shy and reluctant to speak within the class, I would start off with very, very small engagement, so small and simple activities to get their to build their confidence within the lesson, and also speak with them one-on-one at the beginning, or put them into smaller groups, into pairs, smaller groups, so they can build their confidence and work well within a team. I'm just going to turn my music off, sorry about that. Okay, my favourite song finished, I apologise for that. So yes, so if a student did seem a bit nervous in the class, I would speak to them, put them in smaller groups, give them easy tasks to get them involved in the class, just to build their confidence really. Company culture is super important to me. I think it is great for both teachers and students alike to have that positive culture. It helps people learn and feel safe and secure in their work environment. Yes, I think it's really important is staff culture. I have been involved in both positive team cultures and negative team cultures. I personally thrive and work a lot better within a positive, strong team culture. So yes, very important to myself. And which 3 Craving English values resonate with me? Empathy, community, and communication. Empathy creates a safe environment for both students and teachers. As a collective, if we are all working together, it provides a real nice, safe and secure environment for everybody. Community kind of comes together. Building a safe community, we can all learn from one another. I love learning from other people, but I also love to share my skills, experience and knowledge that I have gained along the way. Obviously communication, it's super important to have positive communication with each other. Teachers, students, super important. We need to be able to speak comfortably with one another. And this is how we engage and learn and develop with all our skills. So that is all of my questions answered. I really appreciate the time that you have taken to watch my video. I look forward to hearing back from you guys and seeing what the next stage is of becoming a great teacher within the Craving English community. Okay, thanks so much for your time. I'll speak to you soon.